Hi gang, Rob here. It is the morning of 31 October 2016, Halloween. Y'all be safe out there and don't scare the little kids too much tonight. I thought I would bring you today a little from the sharpening bench video on a zero tolerance knife. One of two videos I'm making today with a common theme. What is that theme? Well, you might call it if at first you try and don't succeed, try again. This one of the Emerson design knives by Zero Tolerance, a partnership that has proved to be successful for both Emerson knives, Zero Tolerance knives, and knife guys, consumers. This one, the ZT0630, a close cousin or sibling to the 0620. Both share about the same handle, just with a little different blade style. This would be the Bowie shape, as Emerson calls it, a translation to the ZT line from the CQC8 in the Emerson knife line. You guys will remember this knife came out, oh gosh, maybe 2 years ago, in S35 VN steel with a rather hideously shaped, more hideously milled G10 show-side scale. It was just ugly. It's maybe the ugliest scale ZT has made since the 550. But after a couple years, a knife that is absolutely excellent in every way, that just had a face only a mother could love, ZT has upped the game, so to speak. As they are wont to do, releasing existing knives in new iterations with improved steels and carbon fiber scales. The 630 and its cousin, the 620, have both received a steel upgrade. I think the 620 might have had M390 before, but the 630 now gets the Bowler M390 blade steel and a very handsome carbon fiber scale. Still with some milling in it, but it's not hideous. And because of its smoother texture, that right or left side tip up pocket clip I think will work better for the lefty, aka me, than it ever would have on the original version. So let's talk about all the awesomeness that makes the 630 a 630. First, the blade shape. Superb as a stabber, a slicer, an all-around utility / tactical blade. It just doesn't get much better than this. And so much better than that same blade shape in the Emerson line. The Emerson had a much lower saber grind, so the angle of attack coming to the cutting edge was much more obtuse, so slicing performance was not nearly as good as the ZT version. And as you guys know, the edge was chisel ground instead of V ground. In order to convert an Emerson CQC8 or even a Horseman, the mini CQC8, to a V grind, left it very obtuse and wedgy because of the material that needed to be removed to do that. I've done them. I owned one. They're okay, but this purpose-built V grind with the much higher saber grind is just a much higher performing blade and in a better steel than you could get from Emerson. Let's talk about the mechanics just to rehash. I think one of the best ZT knives ever made mechanically was the 550. That sort of red-headed stepchild of the Hinderer design family. I don't think anybody really loved that knife as much as I do. And the reason I loved it is the same reason I love the 630. Superb action on phosphor bronze washers. The knife is just a little bank vault, man. And it's got all the smoothness and all the freeness you need for quick deployment, whether you're using the thumb on the disc or whether you're waving it out of a pocket. And it's silky smooth. Well, you know, it rides like a steel blade on self-lubricating phosphor bronze washers that are really flat and really big, which is to say, nirvana. No teeny tiny ball bearings or the problems associated with them. Just wonderfulness. The pivot, it's got sort of my favorite pivot design from Kai. On the lock side, we have a hex head, but that's not a female pivot. That is the male pivot. So that pivot barrel is solid and then tapers down to a male threaded end. And you've got this big flanged nut that is supposed to look heavy duty and industrial. I believe it's a 10 millimeter 3/8 hex nut. It does stay put better than you think it would with a little Loctite. I've never had one come loose during use. It's just not super attractive, but you know what? On an Emerson knife, it kind of fits. Don't know if I remember the dimensions on this knife. I would say it's probably about a 3 5/8 inch blade. Let's see. See if my eye is right. That is exactly right. In the handle, about, wow, 4 15/16 just about. So it's a little handle heavy in blade to handle ratio, but that's not a bad thing. Especially when we look at the Ergonomics, which are classic Emerson. You know, this isn't a knife that's designed to be for you to come up and do fine chef's work with, although it doesn't really hurt to do that. It's really designed for all manner of tactical grips. The saber grip is beautiful with the wave opener providing a thumb ramp. Not super effective jimping, but it doesn't need to be with that big finger groove. Just wonderful. That overhand pinch grip, not bad even with that wave. It doesn't get in the way. The hammer grip is absolute money. Draw cut grip, again, just beautiful. And of course that reverse tactical grip is awesome. The butt end of the knife just designed for that first knuckle of the thumb. Just powerful stabbing action achievable with that thing. With all that going for it, and these are still in stock and they've been out for a few months. I almost hate to make this video public because I still haven't purchased one and I'd kind of like to. $240 guys on your favorite internet purveyor of tactical folders, and a bargain at that price, I think. Beautiful blade centering, beautiful mechanics. Got the steel insert that doubles as an over travel stop. Lockup is rock solid and secure as usual with zero tolerance. Is this my favorite ZT ever? Is this one I could buy and not resell? I think maybe. Just thought you'd like to see it. What a beauty. What a beauty. You know, it's everything good about ZT meshed with everything that's good about Emerson and none of the bad. And I think that makes a pretty outstanding modern folder. That's all for this one, my friends. Grace to you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. And remember, the word is sharp.